Welcome lads and lasses to another episode of A Phase in My Life. The phase of all the bodywork's removed. We've put the rear end back together as far as I want it for now. The turnaround stage here will be to get the wheels done. So we've got the chassis to engine bolts where the bobbins are on some big stands, nice wide footprint, and we got the rear stand on as well. So we can get the wheels off now, get them cleaned up, painted, remove the tyres, etc. And then we can do brake lines once the wheels are back together. We can get it back on its wheels so it feels a bit safer and I can move it around, and then I can get on with the bodywork in the other room. So let's do that. What I just said. So I didn't get very far there because I've suddenly realised we need the special tool. So what I found was a spark plug socket that had the right size, which with a ruler, I can't remember what size it was now. I don't have these big sockets. It's not an 18, but it's not a 19. I think it's Imperial. There we go. Anyway, that fits in there nicely. Obviously you need to then drive that. So we've got a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch adapter. That should do the job quite nicely. That's a wheel to find out in about 0.3 of a second. Oh yeah! Sweet! I'm going to service these brakes while we're at it because that's binding if you ask me. Nice. That came out easy enough. Okay. So we're just going to loosen off the caliper bolts and we'll be done. Folks, so as you can see, the wheels are a little different. We have got the tyres off. Thank you very much to Mickey Kellett for his assistance in that matter. I'll take them to a pro tyre shop of some sort to get them fitted. We've got some new tyres coming, some Pilot Road 5s I believe. Everyone seems to be raving about them, so that's great. So all we're going to do now is just get a heat gun, get the old stickers off, which aren't even straight, and give it a bit of a scratch and spray. It shouldn't take much. There's no real damage or chips, not significant anyway. We can sand through the worst bits, and if we find any bits then we'll just quickly repair them. Some of this is like a textured metal, so it'll just be a quick scratch on those areas ready for spray. We'll get the valves out too. So weights off, stickers off, valves out, start cleaning her up. This is the front one, stripped of all the stickers, and I didn't want to bore you with all the cleaning. We actually used some chain clean, quite a lot of it actually, because particularly the back wheel was all chain grease. I don't think they could clean the chain. You can still see it's a little bit greasy in places. We're going to work on that. Next we're going to buff up or scuff up all the paint. Be gentle with this area, but it's tricky. You might use some Scotch pad to try and get into this area. And then as we clean that off, hopefully we'll get the last little bits of grease out. It's a bit tricky, if I'm honest, because it's a textured surface and it just like holds the grease in there. But we'll get there. We'll get there. A little bit more work required just to get all the grease out. Otherwise the paint will just, well, it might adhere to the grease, but then the grease will come off. And yeah, that won't be any good, will it? That'll look awful. Like most of my paint jobs, to be honest. So, continue cleaning, sand it all down, and then we'll get it upstairs into a warm room and give them a coat of X primer and see how they look. Alright folks, so here's our little setup for painting our wheels. Pretty simple. We've already, as you can see, primed them, had a few coats, and now we're just doing a little bit of wet sanding just on the polished edges where it's nice and smooth. A bit tricky on the textured area. But this is my setup. So as you see things happening and you think, oh, that's a terrible job, well, you didn't like that, that's rubbish. Well, don't comment about that. For two reasons. One, it's going to be too late. By the time you see this video, I will have finished and done a few thousand miles on this bike, probably. Two, you're probably right, and I know you are. I'm in the attic space of a dusty shed. I've done my best, but this is what it is, and this is what it will be. So I'm doing my best. Don't judge me. Alright everyone, so onto third and final coat of lacquer. Always a train goes by just as we're about to film. Thank you very much. Another empty train. It's looking good. We're going to put our third and final coat on of the lacquer. Nearly forgot the little piece that goes on the back with the sprocket. Sort that out. So let's get on with that then. That's it now. So we'll leave those alone for a couple of days up in here. It's about 25, just under 30 degrees in here. I think I measured it a second ago. We want to leave them undisturbed. They look absolutely brilliant. Exactly what I wanted. They look a little bit brighter on camera through the screen anyway than they are in person. They're a little bit darker. I really like it. It's going to look lovely. So you're going to see this paint colour soon enough. I think I showed it earlier, but that's the colour, the candy red, apple red or something I think it is. So you can imagine how nice that's going to complement each other. Yeah, should look good. So let's go and open a bottle of wine and light a fire and chill out while this dries nice. Sweet! So while we're waiting for the rest of things to happen, we've cleaned up our rear sprocket, which has made it look pretty much brand new. I can't particularly see excessive wear, however there is a little bit of wear on the sprocket, but it's not something that needs changing anytime soon. So that'll be going straight on there. So we need to try and usually I leave little tabs available on the. For some reason one came off. Now on the flanges for the, like that, that's what I normally do. On the phalanges, tell me what I'm quoting, on for the discs, I'll have to clean them. I'll have to make sure that they're perfect, but it doesn't matter so much for the rotor for the chain. So, rear sprockets, nuts, 100 Newton meters. That's not messing about. Shiny. Right folks, so the time has come. We've got our beautiful tyres, we've got our lovely wheels, we've got rotors and new bolts to go in. They're looking really lovely, so that's nice. We now just need to take the paint off where the rotors sit, so there's a perfect, delicately done, there's a perfectly flat edge for the disc to run on, otherwise when you brake you'd get brake wobble. So I'm going to spin it the rest of this video because it's pretty much all of the same stuff. We've got some new bolts. All the old ones were pretty much ruined, and the price new was more than getting them in titanium. So we've got them in titanium. Still £3 a bolt, the most expensive I've ever bought. That is a guarantee. But there we go. Once they're on, aren't they? Being titanium, they'll never rust, corrode, and they'll be good for use in the future. Nearly there, here we go, last bit. Yeah, boy. That's all we need. Right. God, this is some epic content, isn't it? Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Why do I always click twice? I don't know, but I do. Well, folks, I've had a busy afternoon. And as such... Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. Right. So we're just going to whack a bit more grease in there. They are basically sealed bearings on a tube inside there, but there's never any harm in the little extra grease, help it slide through, but also just to keep any moisture out. Gently does it. Oh, hello. It's a good start. Still got greasy fingers. It's always a bit of a tight squeeze, naturally so. Okay, here we go. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Let's lift the wheel and get it slid. Oh, that feels good. Just align the other fork. Lift the old girl up a bit. And in she goes. Front wheel axle, 72 Newton meters. 50, 60. Perfect. That's the professional tool that's used. Probably not. Zip. Zip. Forty. And 40. Right, yeah, let's cut this. Let's go to the back. Comment below. Now, pause. This is not going to work. Give up now. That's better. That's what we had planned in the first place. Do that. And then somehow fit this. Felt good. Thank you, Max, for my micro hammer. Thanks, buddy. Still miss you. See if we can get the chain on now. Go, chain on. So I need to torque up the caliper, I need to torque up the bolts, and we can adjust tone tension another time.